Hello and welcome to Enter the Multiverses, where we look at the world of WB and see who could play in the free-to-play game MultiVersus. And better late than never, I finally talk about the fifth and final character I would like to see join MultiVersus. An odd choice, but a character I think that should, on account of how iconic this character is. I'm of course talking about Dick Dastardly and his partner Muttley. Beginning with the origins, following at the end, it's that dreaded do-bad Dick Dastardly and his partner Muttley in the 00 Mean Machine. First debuting in 1968 in the iconic Hanna-Barbera cartoon, Wacky Races. While the show is filled with tons of weird oddball wackadoos, most of these races involve Dick Dastardly trying to cheat his way to victory, only to end up never winning a single Wacky Races tournament. However, Dick Dastardly was surprisingly a very popular villain character to the point where he even got his own spin-off series, Dastardly and Muttley in Their Flying Machines, and even appearing in a lot of Hanna-Barbera crossovers like Yogi's Treasure Hunt. Yo Yogi was the main antagonist of the Scoob movie, and even appearing in Jellystone. It's still quite the odd choice of a character, but can this rotten racer with his sniveling, snickering dog take to the tracks of MultiVersus? Let's see what they have in store. Let's begin with the class, and as you can tell from the one class per character, Dick Dastardly is our ranged mage character, with the only exception being Dorothy, mostly because the recent update version got rid of the support class, RIP. But how would Dick Dastardly fight? Well, a lot of the moves that Dick Dastardly would use would actually have him smacking, hitting, stomping, and even bringing out a weapon or two into the fight. But with charge attacks and some heavy hitting moves, he will actually use his partner Muttley, as Muttley is quite the biter. There's a lot of doodads with these doobads that they can bring to the ring, with tons of variety. And you can also see that in their perks. With the first one just has Dick Dastardly screaming, Muttley! This gives Muttley's bite-based attacks the ability to break armor, but unfortunately at the cost of slightly slower attack speed. But it's the second perk that's going to be far more interesting depending on how it's utilized, and may or may not break the game. And it's something that Dick Dastardly tends to say quite a lot, which I like to call triple drat, as depending whether or not you're winning or losing a game, Dick Dastardly's stats will actually go up or down 9%. As the name of the perk implies, if you're losing a race, the triple drat perk will go into effect, boosting all of Dick Dastardly's moves by 9%. It's also a clever mathematical pun on 3 times 3. However, if you're winning a match, Dick Dastardly's stats will actually go down by 9%. The perks only specifically work depending on the scoreboard, and it best represents the character of Dick Dastardly as a whole. Someone who likes to get ahead of the race, but if he's not too careful, he'll end up biting the dust. Now let's talk about his special attacks, and his standard special actually has 2 different variants depending on what you use. Of course, his standard special is his iconic vehicle himself that he summons, the Mean Machine. By pressing and holding the B button, Dick Dastardly and Muttley ride in their iconic Wacky Races machine. By charging the B button, you basically activate the gas pedal, allowing you to move left and right with the vehicle, giving the Mean Machine an auto dash function every time it's moving. But when the machine does run out of gas, you have to press and hold the B button to recharge the gas pedal. You can also use other different weapon-based attacks within the Mean Machine by pressing the A button in different angles. You can also use special attacks, but I will get into that later. I should also let you know that the Mean Machine is also pretty lengthy, but for the sake of MultiVersus and balancing reasons, the Mean Machine will be as small as the Mystery Machine. If you dodge, you'll actually automatically eject from the Mean Machine and it'll drive away, with probably Muttley driving it to park, causing Dick Dastardly to solo a match for a little while until Muttley's done parking. But as crazy as the Wacky Races are, the Mean Machine can easily be destroyed, which will drastically increase the cooldown time for you to get another Mean Machine up and ready. The air variant of the standard special, however, is known as the Vulture Flyplane, the vehicle used in the spin-off show starring Dick Dastardly. This works similarly to the Mean Machine, as you can basically fly around in any direction you want, working similarly to Superman's side special, with the propellers acting as a hitbox, while some parts of the plane can actually be used as a flying platform, similar to Bugs' side special. However, instead of doodads and whatnots for standard attacks, you'll actually control a gunner seat of the plane, with Muttley in control, allowing you to shoot down your opponents with hardly damaging pellets. And just like with the Mean Machine, if you dodge or it gets destroyed, there will be a cooldown for either Muttley or the machine. For Dick Dastardly's side special, it's Bombs Away, where Dick Dastardly will throw an explosive cartoon bomb that'll go off after a few seconds, similar to Batman's Batmines. However, Allies' enemies can also pick up the bomb and throw it right back at Dastardly, and charging it will actually allow you to throw the bomb even farther. You can also use these moves in the standard special. The up special is called the Magnetic Pole. When this move is activated, Dick Dastardly will bring out a giant magnet above himself. And he'll have two different abilities depending on whether you're on the ground or on the air. When you're on the ground, the magnet will actually pull everything that's near it close to him, and any enemies that get near the magnet will get dealt shock damage. If used in the air, the magnet will actually pull Dick Dastardly to the closest enemy or ally, or the closest platform. If you use this special in any of your vehicles, it'll only pull things closer to them. And for Dick Dastardly's down specials, there are two different variants. His grounded version is Pitfall Trap, where Muttley will dig a hole, and Dastardly will cover it up. Only Dick Dastardly Muttley and his allies will be able to see the pit trap. However, if a foe steps into the trap, they will be temporarily stunned, as if they were buried in the trap. This move will need cooldown. And for the aerial variant, it's known as Drop Anchor. And as you can tell from the move, you can probably take a guess what this implies. And if you're lucky enough, you can actually chain the anchor to them, causing them to fall faster and lose some speed momentum. Of course, that attribute also has a cooldown. For the taunts, the first one will have Muttley snickering to himself while Dick Dastardly bops him on the head. This is kind of a common thing that happens within the Wacky Races series. Another common thing is found in their second taunt, where Muttley bites Dick Dastardly, and he doesn't really take that very well. Taunt number 3 has Dick Dastardly stick his hand out, and Muttley is kissing him in the hand, showing that even though they don't really get along well, Muttley still respects Dick Dastardly. And for their fourth taunt, Dick Dastardly and Muttley are holding hands, spinning around, jumping for joy, in what might possibly be their first ever victory. Moving on to the costumes, their first would be their default design from the 1968 Wacky Races, an iconic one at that. Their second costume would be their pilot uniforms from Dastardly and Muttley and their flying machines. Costume 3 would be their 2017 adaptations of Dastardly and Muttley. Costume 4 is an alternate universe variant of Dick Dastardly and Muttley from the 2010s comics of the Wacky Raceland series. And for their fifth and final costume, it'll actually be another character entirely, known as the Dread Baron and Mumbly, the head captains of the Royal Rottens from the Laugh Olympics. And here are the unique dialogues for the roster of MultiVersus. Now some people say, why do we need another run-of-the-mill villain character? Or some people would not understand why they would choose Dick Dastardly. But this is the big thing, Dick Dastardly is no ordinary villain. He is one of the most iconic villains in the Hanna-Barbera lineup, having quite a longevity legacy. Though he might not be the best choice for everyone, if I had to choose any old school Hanna-Barbera cartoon to join the roster, it would be none other than Dick Dastardly and Muttley. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this rundown on the characters I'd love to see join MultiVersus. I'm still questioning whether or not I should do more of these videos or not in the future, so I will let the algorithm decide that. If we can get this video up to 1,000 views or 100 likes before 2025, I'll decide to do another MultiVersus Moveset Concept with a more up-to-date look. And of course, if you want to support content like this, be sure to like and subscribe. You can also ring the bell for notifications, and if you leave a tip on coffee, you'll get your name at the end of the credits. Thanks for watching, this is the AngelStar, and I hope to see you in the next Moveset Concept.